other one. Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ram Surat Kumar ki Jai. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। It's a great fortune for those of us who have gathered here to be able to be here in time and to sing His powerful, auspicious, divine name for 1 hour. We owe it to His gracious blessings, and with deep gratitude, in celebration of this grace, we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Let us recall again that when we call out the name, when we chant or sing the name, then God is instantly with us. The word Rama or Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar means their presence. And the word and its meaning are inseparable. So Bhagavan said, when you call out Rama, Rama is instantly present with you. When you call out to Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar, my Father, my Supreme Father is instantly present. So let's remember this again and again, that we not only chant the name, we are also at once in the divine, that huge presence that created this whole cosmos with its infinite detail and is running it. Now, it is also at once service to the divine and the divine work. This is what our Bhagavan has said. We have to remember it while we chant. And now, we have to deal with a particular aspect of sadhana. I've been saying in the satsangs that when there is a sudden attack of a bad karma of the past, when it begins to play up, then we go through untold suffering. So agonized we are that we forget that we have invited it by our past karmas, and we resent that God has let us down. And we put the blame on all others. We shift it to other people for our own failures, because it pacifies us. Otherwise, we would feel guilty and there will be more agony. So blaming the others for our own failures is the aspect that we have to deal with today. Because we do it so casually and habitually, we don't even realize it is a sin. Now what happens? We forget that everything happens by the will of God. And it happens because it is necessary to happen. Necessary for what? For our own spiritual growth, for our closer kinship with God. So we have to remember everything happens by the will of God. And whatever happens is perfect and the best at that moment. We should not think there's a better alternative somewhere. This is what Bhagavan taught again and again and again. Whatever happens at any moment is the best that can happen to us at that moment, and it is ours. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's still good. We are not to blame others for that. Because many people who come here, they tell me their tales of woe. And then they ask me to pray to Bhagwan. Yes, of course, we pray in all sincerity and earnestness. And then I tell them also, okay, it is our part that we play. We pray for you. You have your own part to do. You also have to chant the name. Take up, if there is any problem, take up a particular prayer, and then for that sake, you keep on chanting and writing the name. At some nama, you will find solution for your problem, and very satisfactorily at that. But sometimes, many times it happens, they get what they want. But there are a few times, a rare few times, no matter how much I pray, Bhagwan seems to think that the time has not come, or what we pray for may not be good for us in the long run. Now then people come and say, what is this? We asked you to pray to Bhagwan, and we are suffering very much still and nothing has happened. Then I would ask them, are you chanting, which is your part? Yes, we are chanting. How much are you chanting? They would say, 108 times. Then I would say, look, your problem is like a mountain. And what you pray for is only the size of the mustard seed. So how can you say that? But then you are praying to Bhagwan. Shouldn't Bhagwan do that? Now how to answer that? It is your karma, and you have to work for the relief of it. Bhagwan is here to help you. When Bhagwan was in the body, many people came to him straight with their problems, and Bhagwan raised his hand, and then they found a great relief. They got what they wanted. They celebrated it, but then after that, it was forgotten and there was hardly any transformation. People still say, when Bhagwan was there, he gave us this, he gave us that. Now it's not happening in the ashram now. How can it happen now? We should have also grown up with that and come out of all these demands and learn to work hard by ourselves, because chanting the name is our transformation. We have to work hard also. We have to do our part. So they come and say, you are not praying. You are not praying seriously. Then I would say, okay, I will try hard. I will try more earnestly. So this goes on. Now I came across a story from the book of Haja Brahm, a senior monk from a Buddhist monastery, from a forest in Thailand. He says, there was a girl actually, from the University of Thailand. One day she visited the Buddhist monastery and then begged a particular monk, please pray for me. I have to write my examination soon and I would like to get a good pass. Please pray for me. The monk took pity on her and said, okay, we will do our best. He promised, hoping that would give her self-confidence and she would be able to face the exam with better attitude, better frame of mind. Now, after that, the girl never turned up. Sometime after, her friends had come to the ashram the monastery. And then the monks were curious to know what happened. But the friends reported that the girl failed. And not only that, now she was going around telling everybody that all those monks in the ashram, in the Buddhist monastery, are useless people. They have no penance. They have no quality. And they do not know their mantras very well. They are performing badly in the ashram. On and on and on. The monks smiled to themselves. And then again they asked, what was she like? How was she in the studies? Then the friends of hers reported that, oh, she's a party girl. She always went out to the parties and spent most of the time in matters less important. Meaning, she rather liked fun with her boyfriends, and she was going out all the time, never took studies seriously. And she thought she would get a pass by your prayer. Now the senior monk, Aja Brahm, says, this is how people come. And then they sit in judgment on the monks in the monastery, little knowing what is involved in this. There is what we call divine justice. One can never escape the divine justice. The human justice sways according to situations and power. But the divine justice is precise, unrelenting. So, no matter how much prayer is submitted, if people get what they deserve, there's a saying, we are served what we deserve. So, this is what happens not most of the time. Most of the time Bhagavan is so kind, so gracious, that many, many people go back with a sense of fulfillment. I've known people in the past several years, people who have been at the bottom of life, so to say. They started from scratch, and by the name of Bhagavan, they had come up so well in life. So let us remember all that the prayer can do, the nama chanting can do. So I tell people, they ask me, how much nama we have to say, how much nama we have to chant. Then I say, as long as it takes to solve your problem. At some nama, your problem will be solved. Till then you have to keep on chanting. So let us remember the teaching lesson that for our own failures, we should not blame others. Let us face it bravely and make our effort to the best of our ability. Even if it is poor best, if we are sincere, the grace would work and we achieve what we want. We shall now submit our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again and again, a million times, for that's all we can do. And we do it in all sincerity and earnestness for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the world in all aspects of life. For today's world is frightening with its violence, growing enmity between people and people, countries and countries. Already the war is going on with all its atrocities. We beg you to stop the war at the earliest. And there is the attack of new diseases and the deaths that follow. And again, the furies of nature, like forest fire, flash flood, earthquake, and whatnot. So only you, the cosmic controller, can bring about peace where there is enmity, agitation, and turbulence. Harmony where there is disharmony. And order and discipline where there is chaos. And control of the diseases and the furies of nature, the violence of nature. We beg you again to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world. This morning I heard that something is brewing between North Korea and South Korea again. You are our only hope. And we beg you again to reach out to all those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other. They may belong to different countries, they may speak different languages, and they may belong to different religions, but they are unable to get help or protection and suffering severely. Bhagavan, we beg you to reach out to them and do the needful. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the sake of the others in service. Please protect them from unhealthy criticisms that put blocks in their constructive work and aspersion from people. We also beg you to promote the economy of the country and the growth to their heights in varied fields of activity so that it reaches its natural role, Vishwaguru, to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma. For this is what has been predicted by many Mahatmas. We also pray to you for ceaseless chanting of your powerful divine name and unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings so that we would be able to digest it and assimilate it so that they would come out as natural acts from us. And we also beg you to bless us to be sattvic instruments in your hands. We don't want to be demons. Even the demons are instruments in your hands. We don't want to be Rakshasas or evil people like Duryodhana, Kamsa and Ravana. We beg you again to bless us, to run our everyday life as an offering to you, and that we should not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We seek that ultimate state of being, the ultimate state of bliss and peace, which do not depend upon any object or person. But then we need to be purified. Purified from what? Fear, anger, sorrow, jealousy, growing desires which slowly turn into needs. So how do we go about it? You have said chanting the name is the easiest and the highest. So we beg you to bless us to take refuge in ceaseless chanting of your powerful name and joyful service without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, and that in the spirit of surrender to you. And Bhagavan, we beg you to bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow, It comes from your will. It happens because it's necessary for our spiritual growth, for our closer kinship with you. And it happens because of our past karmas, that we are responsible for our own sufferings. As we learn to accept things more and more and more, we will be able to feel your vibrant living presence everywhere in everything. Please bless us, enable us to know that it is your sankalpa, your will, that's behind all the happenings of the world. And more importantly, when we are surrounded by very unhealthy surroundings, when we are struck with the most disastrous suffering, your hidden grace is something that we are unable to feel, and then we begin to resent you very bitterly and blame everyone else, like the girl in the story, for our own failure, for our own past karmas. But then you, out of your compassion and generosity, will not allow us to move away from you and convert all our sufferings into great blessings. Please bless us to be grateful to you even for the adversities of life. We also pray to you for your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of being they are, in whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek liberation. We seek dissolution. We who have been seeking only solutions to our endless problems like the waves of the sea, now seek dissolution, to be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths. Dissolution of what and in what? Dissolution of our ego, the arrogance, in your pure awareness. Freedom from the I and mine, from the tyranny of the ego, so that we be blessed with the immortal life, the eternal living, and eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme power that runs this whole cosmos from eternity to eternity. Jai Yogiram Saratma.